Hi, this is Ganesh Kumar from AR Pro Academy. In the previous episodes, we discussed evolution of selling, different methodologies, and the image of a salesperson. Today, we will discuss the sales process. There are different sales processes designed by different OEMs, but more or less, most of these processes are the same. What is being followed by the dealerships and designed by these OEMs, they don't have much differences. Before the pandemic, the process started with meet and greet. That means for a walk-in customer, when he walks in, a receptionist, a hostess, or a sales consultant used to open the door, meet him and greet him. This is not happening today because of the pandemic in the early stages. But at a later stage, that is in the finalization stage of a car, definitely a customer would like to see the product inside the car, that is the touch and feel. Maybe if you are offering a fully sanitized car, he would also like to take a test drive. So let us see before what are the touch points, what is the difference between the touch points before the pandemic and now. Out of 28 touch points, now most of 21 touch points are done online. Previously, a customer used to choose maybe 3 cars and he used to visit at least 3 showrooms. That means 3 competitions or 2+1 competitions were there for him. And then he used to spend time visiting all the showrooms, and then the cycle time, that means the time when he decided and then finalized, it used to be anywhere between a week to 3 months depending on the human behavior. Human behavior is very important element in deciding or in the sales process. Once the initial touch points are done, that is meet and greet, we start asking questions. Even in meet and greet also, initially the first touch point used to be the security who is at the gate, a very important person. In fact, I have learnt a very hard lesson in one of my dealerships. A consumer product distributor who had come with the manufacturer himself to the dealership. He entered the premises, and for some reason the security did not behave properly in arranging or in organizing a parking for his vehicle. He just got out of the premises straight away and then drove another 125 kilometers and went to the next district, where he approached that dealer. He booked 4 vehicles, and from there he called me and explained his issue, and he said, this is a lesson for you. So from that time onwards, in fact, I have been taking keen interest in my training. That is, I start with the security. Is one of the most important. The next will be probably the receptionist or the telephone operator who receives the call. So now most of these touch points do not happen in the initial stages, they all happen online. The customer chooses the car, and then you enter into a dialogue with the customer. If the customer is walking in, we start asking questions. We call it a need analysis. Most of the time, the sales consultant only asks the need, which means how many kilometers he drives. Probably that is the only question. But we need to understand a lot of other details about the customer, his family, who all will be driving the vehicle, which other vehicle, which was his earlier vehicle, what are the things that he likes in his old vehicle, what is it that he doesn't like in the old vehicle, whether he's a vegetarian or a non-vegetarian, his favorite restaurant, number of family members, a lot of things. Once you know all these things, then it becomes much easy for you even to prescribe a particular car for his use, not his need, usage, maybe weekends where he's traveling with his family. All these things, in fact, most of these questions are not asked when the customer comes to him. They just ask basic need and then straight away take them to their 5-step or 6-step walk around of the car where the car is explained. Today, in fact, the customer is more aware about the product which is going to buy, and he knows all the details because all the comparative details, comparative analysis is available in different websites online. Much more than we know, the customer is aware of all these details. So, that is the reason I say the most important factor in this is to understand the customer properly. Then we ask about his finance, where he is taking the insurance. For the finance, also now EMI calculators are available online, and then insurance also. Today there are many websites which offer the best insurance details. But everything, in fact, if you have to sell all these things, that means the car, the insurance, the finance, and then the accessories. The most important part is to develop a relationship with the customer. To develop a relationship with the customer, the most important is to understand as much as possible from the customer, with the customer. Your deep knowledge about competition also will help you in approaching the customer. I have asked this question to a lot of people during my career. How many people are involved in a transaction? I used to ask this question to every sales consultant, everyone whom I interact with. All of them say, "Sir, it's very simple, just two people, the seller and the buyer." That is what they think. Most of the people think, okay, the seller and the buyer. Then finally what happens? After maybe a few weeks, you find out that customer has already bought a car from a competition. So in a transaction, there are at least three people. That is you, the seller, the buyer, and the competition. So unless you find out which other product that the customer is considering, it will not be able for you to pitch your product, or you pitch your product against that, or make a comparative statement. Probably there are a lot of insights which the customer need not know, or customer may not know. I'll give an example of a sales consultant who was earlier my colleague. He has been an expert in rural areas. So he shifted his expertise to agricultural equipments like tractor, and then class harvest machine. A harvest machine, I do not know the current price, but it is somewhere around 20 lakhs. It is used for harvesting the crop. So a lot of people come to him. So his way of convincing the customer, normally we say, okay, talk only about positive things to the customer, and that's what we do. Many times we hide the negative things about the mileage. We always highlight, especially the mileage recommended by decided by ARAI or something like that. But this particular person, what he does is, he first understands the customer, his finances, how he is going to finance a vehicle, all these things. And in a way to help the customer, what he does is, he starts off with what all complications he can have if he is buying this product, or how he should take it forward, what all difficulties he can face if he is going for this kind of a machine. He starts off with all those things. Then he describes how the machine is useful, and then in the long run how much profit he can make. So in one particular case, I know this customer with a lot of difficulty, in fact he had generated the fund, so he did not want the customer to be in trouble later, and he not want to be responsible for his financial issues. So he explained everything, starting off with what all he should do with the product. And then he also suggested, he said, "Sir, I have sold this machine to another person. I suggest that you go and have a discussion with him." Finally, after a week, this customer came to him and then purchased from him. What he told him was, Mr. Anand, that was his name, why I am buying from you is that you had clarified everything. That means you started off with what all complications or what difficulties I'll be facing if I buy this machine, and that's how I started trusting you. So the trust, that is the most important part in building a relationship with the customer. Once it is very difficult to build a trust, but once it is built, then your journey with the customer or with the buyer's journey will be made very easy along with your support. So that is what I'm saying. The most and this particular customer, after the first machine, he came back to him, and then he is a proud owner of 4 similar machines, and he is doing a wonderful business using this machine. He uses it for his agriculture purpose. He rents it out. So this is a story which I know personally, so I thought of sharing it with you. And then we'll come with more stories in the coming episodes. Thank you.